Hey folks, we are back. Chill Tech here. I'm Christian. This is Jovan, and we're back for another podcast. How's it going,
Yeah.
Jovan? What's
What's going
up?
on, man? Episode 33. We're getting there, man.
Yeah, we're trucking through. It's been a little bit, but we had some news we wanted to come out and discuss today. Also, if you guys been paying attention, we've had videos.
What?
We got reviews. We got the Pixel XL review. Pixel 2 XL.
Did we?
Phone review.
Yeah, I think so.
We got all kinds of stuff, people. It's just reviews out the wazoo.
Oh yeah.
I'm working on two more currently. One, it's gonna be called, do I need an Android watch? Just my experience, and also, do I need a Chromebook? So I'll let you know my experience, and do you need it? Yes or no? It's not a full review. It's just do you need this thing? How can you use it? Some pros, some cons, and let you guys decide. So coming up soon. Stay tuned. Lots of content.
We need like a name for this, but like Christian's Corner or something. I don't know.
Right. Or just like, do I need it?
I like that. Do I need it? Have its own intro theme. Hey, make it happen. Suggestions in the comment section.
Right.
Tech X, wubba lubba dub dub. What's going on, Morty?
All right. So besides us working on reviews and such, what else is new, Javon? What you been getting into of late?
I am taking public transportation.
Oh, yeah. Welcome.
Yeah,
How's it
different.
feel? How's it feel?
Honestly, because I'm now working in the city, I'm so used to driving everywhere. And my first day at this new project, I went and I got valet parking for like $20. And I was just like, it's the only thing in the area. I was like, ugh. And then someone was like, take the metro. And I'm just like, ugh, public transportation, snar. And then next minute, I'm just like, hey, it's not too bad. Kind of zen almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm walking like 5 blocks. I'm feeling good about I was like, you know what? This could be a life changer. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I was telling you that last week I had some meetings down in Rockville, which is like a little bit outside DC. And so I literally had to take a train 45 minutes and then subway 45 minutes. And that sounds harsh, but I was like, those are 45 relaxed minutes. Like I was chilling on my phone watching House of Cards, like whatever. And
was
taking a nap, like, huh?
Were you offline? Were you offline?
Exactly. I had downloaded to my phone, watch it offline, whatever. I don't care about going underground, above, whatever. I'm just chilling. I don't have to pay attention. Okay, am I stop now? I know. I set my alarm. If I can fall asleep, I'll wake up half an hour later and go for it. So good times.
Sean joined the chat with Tech X here. What's up, Sean? He said he uses the Metro also. Yeah, man. Metro, and that's not too bad. It's actually not I always thought it was going to be expensive for some reason. Because I'm just like, you got to pay money every day. Then I realized, wait, I pay money every day anyway.
Buying gas.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's one thing I will say. My car is still on F since the time that I filled it up after a Monday. So that's a plus. Driving to the metro station,
right?
It's only a few minutes away, and then it's like, and also you don't feel fatigued driving like that. When you like drive those long distances, like over an hour plus.
Yeah,
it feels kind of good to just not have to worry about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I almost don't even like driving anymore. Like it's to the point where I'm like, I gotta drive somewhere. That means I gotta focus. Like I want to just chill. Yeah. Like someone drive me around. Like
autonomous driving.
I just want to call Uber. Like forget this driving.
Yeah,
like whatever.
What about you, man? Anything new?
There's some new stuff going on at work. I don't want to announce it too much just yet because they don't want to announce it officially yet. So I'm not going to blast on the internet. But, big things happening, moving up, new things going on at work. So should be good. So next time I'll give an official announcement, but good stuff coming ahead. So hopefully that'll allow me to get a couple more tech items here and there for a review. So I'm telling the wife, but so that's good stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Looking forward to it. So first thing on our list and our rundown tonight, sir. So you reviewed the essential phone, so we're not gonna get too deep into all the nitty gritty. Watch the review.
Watch it.
But
like it. Watch a review.
Some changes have happened since it was released. We got a price drop and some updates as far as the camera.
Yeah.
How's that working out?
So, if I said, I do want y'all to watch the review. So I'll just say this: from where it was when we first got it, I think we talked about it when I first got it, like on a podcast maybe like a couple months ago, and I was just trashing the camera. You know, I was like, it's so bad, and you know, I regret getting this for a review, and I was like, you know, this is just, I didn't want to do it, and then it kind of went to the back burner.
Right.
And then the Pixels came out, and the iPhone came out, and I was just like, yo, what is this phone? Now, everything about it just seems better. I don't know why. My price didn't change for it. You know what I'm saying? But just the overall experience got better. It's responsive, which is sad to say about a stock Android phone with the latest greatest specs, but it wasn't responsive before. Now it's responsive. Now it feels good. Now the camera doesn't suck. It's not a Pixel. It's not an iPhone or a Samsung, but it doesn't suck. It's practically the same as the OnePlus phones, which don't suck. They're decent. You know what I'm saying? It's a good camera, not a great camera. You know what I'm saying? And the battery life is very good still. That's one thing I do like about it at the beginning, but it gotten better. I'm talking about like 6 hours average screen on time. So very good battery life, and it's not the biggest battery per se either, you know. And the screen is nice, as you saw during the review when we were shooting that. Not the brightest outdoors, but usable. It works. It just works. And I think at the price that it is now, $599, $499, right?
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great price. And there's also a deal where if you are an early adopter, you get it for $299. And
so you can have two.
You can have two, or you can give the code to somebody else, and they can buy one for $299.
He's trying it. He's trying it.
You know, I'm just because someone doesn't want to upgrade to a Pixel 2 this year, so might as well have something for until the Pixel 3 comes out. So I mean, to me, it makes a lot of sense, especially when we can get the newer colors that weren't available before that look really nice. They have like a matte white and like a glossy white and like all this a new grayish color and like a green. I'm like, it's a premium phone that now feels more valuable at the price. And I think that's what they missed early on, because I didn't think it was overpriced. If it worked the way it did before, I might not even say like I think the reception of it would have been different. But because it wasn't so good at launch, now it's almost like a new phone has dropped. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at this point, everybody's talking about it again. I'm seeing so many people on Instagram and on Twitter like buying it, and they're reviewing it, and they're like talking about it. And this is great press for Essential, who essentially, you know, in the beginning we heard about a rumored only 5,000 units being sold in the first month. That's pretty harsh. So
quite harsh.
It's pretty good. I'm impressed for right now with the Essential phone. I think if you were thinking about buying it before, now is the time to buy it. And if you have someone who have already bought it, and you want a nice phone with a good responsive UI, great battery life, excellent audio quality, even for the Bluetooth side. I also want to go in a quick little segment about how I hate headphone jacks. Remember, I did a video for that.
I hate headphone jacks.
I know. I'm officially 100% against headphone jacks. Two reasons.
Guy is
they have fit my original Pixel headphone jack. Literally, if you plug any headphones in it, it just goes crazy. It's like shooting off Google, like the Google Assistant off like every second, like book it up. It doesn't matter what headphones I plug in there. So I put it in my iPhone. Siri starts going crazy. I'm like, yo, are all my headphone jacks broken? But you use USB-C, everything's great. There's no problem.
So you apparently are very harsh on headphone jacks.
Oh, I am.
And you just break them. You just damn the headphones in, then you
damn all the
make it fit.
Damn you headphone jacks to hell. Like they're all dumb. So glad everything's going wireless and high quality USB-C. Unless you're the LG V30, then you still have a good headphone jack. Anthony Carter is online. What's up, Anthony? Said, sup a Tibby. Man, I can't read.
Yeah, I mean, we got Wubba Lubba Dub. We got Sup Sibbity Dup. So, you know,
Sup Sibbity Dup.
I don't know what's going on now.
Yeah, man.
It's the wasn't there some kids show where they talk like this? Bubble Guppies? I don't even know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. It sounds right. So a quick side note, y'all, just so you know, I do have my Google on home here for my Wi-Fi, right? But my desktop, I don't have an actual wireless adapter, so I had it connected via an old time capsule and whatnot. And it was just, my internet was just acting crazy. I'm sure if you saw the last podcast, I was roboting all over the place and like just stupid stuff. So actually, I'm coming to you live wirelessly from a Chromebook, y'all.
What?
I just got my microphone, got my Logitech camera, plugged them in, switched the inputs in Hangouts, and then it just worked. Like that to me is very Apple-esque, right? Like it just works. But it really did. Like I'm just so impressed. So just so you know, like this is Chromebook action right now. Like whatever, like not even plugged in, just Wi-Fi.
I forgot you weren't on your desktop actually. I really forgot for a moment.
This is the Chromebook. Like, I mean, this is obviously my external camera and microphone, but still, like Chromebook's powering all this, and it's pretty amazing.
Without a fan.
Right? How about that? So that definitely be part of my video upcoming as far as my experience. But yeah, pretty cool. So that aside, on to the iPhone 10. Now, people, stop saying iPhone X, Jovan.
It's the X.
It's officially called, it's pronounced 10, as in 10.
Is it called OS 10 or OS X, right? I'm just saying.
It's OS, it actually is OS 10. It's like 10 point whatever they're on.
Yeah, now, right? I'm just saying, but do you hear people say, well, now we say Mac OS, so I guess it doesn't matter now anyway.
Or now they say Yosemite or High Sierra, or whatever.
High Sierra,
other
right?
Stupid name.
Well, next year's Low Sierra.
Inland Empire, or I don't know, LA County next time, who knows what. But yeah, so you know, iPhone 10 has come out. We got reviews out now, we got impressions around the web, and from what I've been seeing, people seem to actually like it. I expected a more of a negative blowback, but it seems to be liked, except for this one. Well, no, that's actually somewhere else. So let's just go on with this, Jovan. From what you've been seeing, you know, what do you think as far as the reviews that you've been reading?
From what I've seen, I think everything has been positive, for the most part. I don't think people dislike the iPhone 10. Some people who did their review. By the way, if you watched any review on the iPhone 10 yet, just know that person probably had the phone for less than 24 hours. So yeah, because people just got their review units, and Chiltech, we're actually trying to get on the list for one, and we want to get ours. It's like December. So just to know that there are not many to go around right now, and if you're looking for a review on it, wait for like next 2 weeks or something. At least get the version. Get like 4 days or whatever. Somebody, I was at iMore, did a review on 24-hour review. Had the phone for like 6 hours. But you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's cool. I think initial impressions are really good. No one knows if it's not going to be good right now because it's still really early in people's hands for hands-on impression, you know, for first impression. But build quality seems to look really good. That stainless steel actually looks really nice in like a lot of videos I've seen. It's still iOS. I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think for people who like iOS, like love iOS, it's great. But a lot of people who I've been talking to, like who are just regular people, are trying to like not buy an iPhone this year for some odd reason. People are like, I think I'm going to go with something different this year. So I don't think it's going to be as widely adopted for the regulars, but or at least not as adopted as the iPhone 8, I should say, for the regulars. But I mean, for the people who are iPhone enthusiasts, I mean, this is a really good looking phone so far. And I think someone who likes Android phones, like me personally, I like the Pixels and stuff, I wouldn't mind using an iPhone 10. It looks really nice.
Yeah, my only thing is I just don't feel like maybe I'm getting old, but I don't feel like changing again. Like I've come to get used to use my fingerprint to open my phone. I don't feel like fooling with this whole face stuff. Maybe I'll wait 2 more years until it's a little more.
Everyone has
it's kind of baked in and they've worked all the kinks out, right? I don't feel like fooling with that. That's just me personally.
Yeah, but we've seen some. I think some people say that it works majority of the time, but it doesn't.
Right. Yeah, I don't feel like dealing with that. Like, why use something that doesn't always work when I have something that works all the time, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's not worth that. But some people want to be on the bleeding edge. More power to them.
So, what do you think? The fingerprint sensor under display, or have the Face ID?
I'd rather have the fingerprint under the display. I don't need Face ID. Like I just have I don't care about that.
That should be a video also. I think we should do that.
At all. So tell me this. Do you think all this whole debacle with the Pixel's screen has helped iPhone?
You know what? I don't know what's going on with this Pixel 2 XL witch hunt display. Although some of it's justified. I'm not gonna lie and say that it's all peaches and cherries and whatnot. But there is, for someone who now owns the Pixel XL 2, there's definitely some extremely overhyped criticism that doesn't really need to be here. And now we're seeing reports about the iPhone 10 and blue tint. Like what? Like like people are buying phones, going to like gray white screens, just
right?
Their phones now. Like, oh yeah, that's blue. No, that's blue. You're like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Like all their calibration gear, like
like what the heck? Like, when did we all become such display experts all of a sudden? Like,
we're not. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, like this is definitely an IGZO double pental panel right here with extra blues and greens and like what? Who was it? Android Central's podcast last week was good, but kind of like hilarious. They had this display expert on, and he was talking about the Pixel 2 XL display and all the other displays and how much more greens than blues and some phones have, and we will say this: LG is new to making AMOLED displays and for phones. They do a great job for the TVs, but for some odd reason, LG Display, not LG Electronics, LG Display, they're having some issues building it in phones, and we're hearing that's because of the initial I forget the word they used, but it was like the first assembly line that they built for it just isn't great, and they were building one for it, but it would have pushed the Pixels and a lot of other phones back to like a November, December launch, and I guess they didn't want to do that. So, but Apple is investing money into LG. Google's investing money into LG. They want LG to be a good screen manufacturer because Samsung, although Samsung wants to be everyone's sole display manufacturer, they just need more people to build AMOLED displays, and it's supposed to be easier and better to do. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's overhyped. I think the iPhone 10 slightly off axis blue is not an issue. I think the Pixel 2 slightly off axis blue is not an issue. Some phones have reported they don't have it at all. I don't know what's going on. So to be honest with you, I think it's a screen. If it looks good and it does what you need it to do, then it's great. Yes, not every screen can be a Samsung screen, but some people are saying Samsung displays have blue axis at certain angles. Some people say that it's an extra warm like a warm tint now. So some of them like go red. I was like, what? So I was just like, what is going on here? Like LCDs are perfect. And that's the case. Let's all go back to LCDs.
I want to see some kind of official, like, professional review of this stuff.
Yeah,
all these armchair display experts are
an engineer who makes displays sit down with like 40 different LCD panels and like 4 different AMOLED panels and be like, this is the display review. And I want it to be an hour and 40 minutes long.
Right. We got to find somebody. Look, displayed experts, if you're watching, let us know.
Email us.
We'll talk to you.
Yeah, really. We need a real display expert. Hit us up in email. Chilltech Studio.
For real.
.com or something.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah, it's www.chilltechstudio.com.
Chilltech something. Just Google that.
Yeah, Google. You'll find us.
You'll find it.
So what do you think?
All right.
So for you, is this an issue to you? Do you feel like this is an issue?
I don't think so, but it is interesting how I do wonder how, looking back, if we'll say that, it was a significant effect on the sales or not, because it was just enough for it to kind of, wait for the iPhone 10 to come out.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you can't get the iPhone 10. So for what that's worth,
Right. Yeah, true that.
So it's probably I'll be equal in the end. So
maybe the problem is that all the phones are too good this year, to a point. Yeah, that we have to find small things to nitpick about.
That's what happens, right? Like you just get overly sensitive about every single thing because what else are you gonna talk about, right? Like
it's $1,000 phone and can't ask me perfect.
All of them are like, okay, so now what?
Right. I'm like, well, that's $1,000 phone.
Except
Samsung. Like people or like it's $1,000 phone, no SD card, no whatever, no IP68, no headphone jack, and I'd be like, well, it's $1,000 phone, Samsung. I want good software. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that a problem?
Oh, he
is
said
that a problem? Dab. Oh yeah. I'm just saying, $1,000 phone. I want good software.
Right.
I want a good camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're getting spoiled. So I'm waiting for our decoder rings and our Retina displays, literally.
Yeah.
On my Retina, and then be like real like Black Mirror stuff. Like
there you go.
Yeah, like
my
VR,
panel on my eyes.
AR. I'm like, am I dreaming? Is this real? Like I don't even know anymore.
There you go.
That's what I'm looking for. It's gonna be good times.
AR.
Good times. So on to the meat of the evening. So for those who do not know, and maybe you didn't know, because I'm not sure how big of a deal it was worldwide. I mean, we were aware of this coming down the pike, but Razer has released a phone. So Razer bought Nextbit and was like, hey, you know what we want to do? We'll make a phone for gamers, by gamers. They make peripherals, they make mice, they make laptops, they make, keyboards, all kinds of stuff for gamers. And they figured, you know what, let's make a phone for gamers. So Javon, take us through. Is this phone special? And what makes this phone a phone for gamers?
All right. So first, let's run down what it has.
Yes.
So
sir.
we have the Razer phone by Nextbit by Razer. I mean, technically it is Razer. I mean, Nextbit. If you remember the Nextbit Robin, and if you bought the Nextbit Robin, especially when it was like $170 or whatever, then you should know that this phone has a lot of physical resemblance. Except this is a more premium flagship. It has the latest, greatest, Snapdragon 835. 8 gigs of RAM, like the OnePlus 8 or OnePlus 5, right? So there you go. That's cool. It has a IGZO display, which is the same exact panel from the Essential phone, but this time it's at 120 hertz, ultra motion. I don't know. So is ultra motion like true motion? Like I'm just saying, like
I don't even know. Like
it's a really high,
like Super Saiyan motion.
Mega 120 hertz.
It's
motion.
Omega motion.
Omega motion, right? So has this really wide color gamut. Gorilla Glass 3, and for those of you guys who care about numbers, Gorilla Glass 3 and 4 to me is still better than Gorilla Glass 5. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. It's also probably easier to produce and make your phone cheaper. More on that. So it has a really great display, an LCD panel, so none of this color access blue tint stuff you got to worry about, I think. It has a 64 gigs of UFS storage with an SD card, up to 2 terabytes supported.
Word.
Class 10. So this is like the big stuff. So you can get the really fast SD cards and put it in here. It has the typical trend of rare cameras, the dual rear cameras, because not everyone can do it with software like Google. With modern auto, has all the modern autofocus technology like phase detection, laser, all that stuff. As a flash, I think that's important. We all take photos with flash. It has a front-facing camera. I want to say it can shoot 4K like the Essential phone. I think it's actually the same part as the Essential phone, but don't quote me on that. But I think it's a 4K front-facing camera also. Big thing on here, highlight feature, is the sound. It has 2 front-facing stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos tuning and HTX certified audio. And if you guys don't understand, I love HTX certified audio. I have a pair of computer speakers that I use from Logitech. HTX speakers, and it's just amazing. They tune things perfect. So, oh my goodness, just super awesome. Also has dual amplifiers, so each speaker has its own amplifier. That's pretty awesome. So, and I feel like this is we're getting to a point, let's say, where audio is going to be this, we're going to start criticizing audio next year because all these phones have great stereo speakers now. So we're going to start saying the phone has like slight blue tint when you on the audio. It's like a tinniness when you turn it to the right. I don't know.
Right, like little right heavy on that stereo.
No headphone jack, which is great. But it does have an audio adapter, USB-C, with THX certified DAC tuning as well. So great. A 4,000 milliamp hour battery with Qualcomm Quick Charge 4 Plus It gets charged really fast, but it's a really big battery. This is a huge battery, especially compared to the Pixels and the iPhones and even the Samsung phones this year. So one of the bigger batteries in a phone this year, I think the HTC U11 Plus is going to have a 4,000 mAh battery also. Bluetooth 4.2, but it will get upgraded to Bluetooth 5.0. Like the essential, not like the U11 earlier this year, because of the chipset of the 835. You have to there's actually an update you have to do where a company has to buy an actual driver to enable Bluetooth 5.0. So you will get it when Oreo drops, they said. So you get 5.0 Bluetooth, but right now that's 4.2 radio active right now. Whole bunch of bands in there, but I don't think it works with Verizon. I'm just putting it out there. I don't think it works for Verizon or Sprint, because I don't see any CDMA bands. But it has a whole ton of GSM and LTE bands, so that's good. So specs wise, it's a flagship, right? $699, a phone that's made by Razer at a price that's very competitive. This is definitely a gamer phone. I mean, like, gamers are spec heads, right? You buy if you're buying the Xbox X or PlayStation Pro, you're a spec head because you want the latest greatest specs. When you build a gaming PC, you want the latest greatest specs. This is a phone with the latest greatest specs. It's a gamer as they say, a media, entertainer's phone or a media consumer phone. It's for media lovers. This is a great phone for people who want the best specs. And it's tuned differently compared to OnePlus, who gives you the best specs. They have a lot more things that are catered and tuned, not for a great design, but for like a industrial, bam, powerhouse PC in your face type of thing. I feel the PC vibe with this phone. You feel that?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. And I'll say, just looking at the price and the specs, name aside, like, let's say Google put out this exact phone.
Yeah.
Like, people be all over it. I think the only hesitancy is that this is a Razer phone. Yes, next bit, but we don't really know them in the phone space. So the price may shock some people. But if Samsung or Google put out the exact same specs at this exact same price, I think people would really, really go for it. Wait a minute. Wait. Pause. Everybody time out. I'm looking at the chat. And I see a person.
No.
Who is it?
No.
Yo, Greg, I thought you were dead, man. Greg's alive.
Greg.
Oh, praise. All right. Greg jokes are back.
Is Greg Rick?
Yeah, Greg. So Greg said that he was surprised by the price. I actually was too. So it's, for me, it's both surprisingly high and surprisingly low.
Yeah.
Because Razer, all their stuff, it just costs way too much, like, for no reason. Well, most of their stuff, their laptops are coming back down to be, a good price for specs, right? Like, it's a good value, and they don't look so crazy anymore, right? So this, I have expected it to be really expensive, but I also expect them to come in real cheap to try and, kind of really flood the market with this cheap new phone that maybe next year try to compete for flagship. But they really came through and just said, look, we're going to dump all the best specs in here and give the best price we can. And hopefully that'll sell the phone. So it seems pretty exciting to me.
I'm actually very excited about this phone. Just for so many reasons. And also, I forgot to mention, for you like geeks who love to customize the Android phone, the geek launcher of choice is the Nova launcher. That launcher is pre-installed with the Prime version. So the paid Nova launcher is pre-installed by default on this phone. So it gives you a clean stock Android-like experience, but with all the customizations you can think about.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And also what makes me happy is that, it does ship with Android 7.1, but they have said that we can expect to get Oreo early next year. So even though it's not there yet, we can expect it soon, which I think is a great thing. So because for me, having moved to Android, like, updates and like being current is like super important to me personally.
You should be. I'm glad.
That's very important to me. And I think that's going to be a great feature of this, near stock Android experience on this phone.
And I believe them when they say they'll update fast, because Nextbit updated very fast. I think Nextbit launched with 5.0 and they have 7.1 right now. That's impressive for a phone that didn't sell well at the price they launched at, but they stuck with their promises to keep, think of how many Samsung phones have two update versions. You know what I'm saying? How many Sony phones or LG phones have two versions? Bro, let's be real.
Yeah.
How many phones go from 5.0 to 7.1? Because I can name like 20 phones that launched with 5.0 didn't even get 5.1. Okay, so this is I believe them, because Nextbit did a great job for so I mean, hey, so I believe them. This is gonna be good. This is a phone. So Nova launcher price good
stuff. I didn't get to watch the full keynote, but I did get to, watch some kind of impressions here and there and read reviews and things. And I'm pretty impressed by this. I was excited about it already, just on principle. I was like, a phone for gamers. Like, I was just excited, period. Like, I just want to see what this is, and I'm excited to get it. Am I going to buy it? Probably not.
Same here, but I really want to buy it.
I want one.
Yeah.
I want one.
Well, for you, it doesn't make any sense. You use Verizon.
Right, exactly. So, I ain't gonna switch networks for this phone or anything like that. But
I mean,
I don't know. Like, make me a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'll get one. But yeah. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the notes here, Jovan. What is this about Final Fantasy 15?
So they also said that Final Fantasy 15, the console version, will be exclusively launching for this phone. So, Greg, I know you're a huge Final Fantasy fan out there. My Final Fantasy fans out there, you guys who love Final Fantasy, dude.
That's exciting. That's exciting. And from the few clips that I've seen of it running on the phone, like, it looks pretty amazing.
I don't think it looks that great, and it's gonna sound crazy to me. If you watch the gameplay, it didn't. I don't think the game is like we're not talking about like Elder Scrolls and like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's not. But
for the smoothness, the gameplay, like the actual combat and stuff, wow.
Yeah. Super smooth.
Very smooth. Extremely smooth.
Those hertz be moving.
Yeah. You know what though? I'll tell you this. First of all, I just saw that in the chat. Greg with the classic line, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. that makes you feel good inside.
That's how we know it's really him.
We know it's really him now. Now we know it's really him. He's not an imposter. He actually is alive. Because at first I was like, oh, this is definitely spam. There's a couple other games. What is it? Arena Valor? I can't remember. Oh man,
something like that.
Two other games. That game looked really good, and that they have a special version made exclusively for the Razer Blade, and they said they're going to launch a lot of games that are exclusive to the Razer Blade. And this reminded me of the NVIDIA Tegra back in the day. Remember the Tegra store, the NVIDIA Tegra? Like, we had these exclusive Tegra games, but it's the way that Android, the way that Google Play works now is that you can have exclusive titles just for a particular device, but you don't have to have its own separate app store.
Right.
But I do expect to see a lot of these games that do work for this to roll out to other phones with good hardware. So maybe like how Apple has that exclusivity for like a time period, But at the same time, we could be wrong, and this could be, just Razer games for the Razer phone. I mean, if anyone has the money to keep things exclusive, it's Razer, right?
For real. Now, I just thought about something. Now, do you think this? And this is all speculation, but might this push NVIDIA to push out a Shield phone?
Yes.
Why haven't I done this already?
I think we're definitely going to see a Shield phone next year. If not at least an updated Shield tablet, right?
Please?
I think so. I think we're going to get like the NVIDIA X2 or Z1 or something. I don't know, something like that. And then, because their performance chips are bomb for mobile. It runs the Pixel C and the Nintendo Switch with the X1. Great
Yeah,
chip.
like
It's a great
bring
chip.
on the gaming phone wars. Like I welcome that.
That would be awesome.
Like
That
be a
would be
whole
pretty
different
awesome.
situation. Like
Remember the Xperia gaming phone?
man,
But it's Razer. So this is
remember the
Razer.
PS Vita?
Dude, the PS Vita would have been a great Android phone, right? I mean, I'm just saying. All jokes aside, like the specs are crap. Like imagine the games that I don't know. I feel like developers don't give a crap, but maybe they will now. Maybe they will now.
All right, so tell me for real though, like who do you think is really gonna buy this phone? Like who do you think is only gamers gonna buy this?
No. I think people that buy the OnePlus phone, the OnePlus phone is the like the tech nerds, like the spec nerds. They're buying this phone. People who bought the essential phone, who want something different, they're buying this. People that like Nova Launcher. I actually mean this. If you look at the Nova Launcher community, like that custom community, they're totally like, they're like, yo, God, Nova Launcher. Like I saw it today on oh my game, my traps, man, getting so big, ripping my shirt. But
This guy.
no, but I saw
he ripped that before the show. Y'all don't even know. He was like, "Oh wait,"
I was like, right? no, but I was looking on Twitter and someone was like, I saw they just announced that it was going to have Nova Launcher like right before it actually happened on the actual live stream, and people were like, "Oh my God, Nova Launcher is the best." Someone was like, "Action Launcher." And they like killed him in the chat, like straight up. They were just like, "You don't know shit about nothing." Da 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 da. Like it has way more customization, and it's better than a Pixel launcher, and it's better than Action Launcher. It's better than Lawn Chair. But I was like, all right. But so those guys, they're gonna buy it, and the gamers. I mean, when I talk about the cat, this is not the Angry Birds, play those games. We're talking about like people that play Final Fantasy 15, people who would buy a Nintendo Switch that's not a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Those are the guys who are going to actually pick up a gaming phone on the go. Plus, who doesn't want a 4,000 mAh battery with great specs? Just chilling. We talked about picking the Metro earlier today. Can you imagine this phone like on the go?
Right. Oh, lovely. Like, here's the thing that I think because we don't really know yet how this camera performed, right? Like the camera right now is like a stack of specs, right?
Right.
If this camera is even pretty good, I feel like this phone could really sell like bonkers because everything else is not really subjective. It's got basically stock Android. It's got all the specs. If the camera is decent, I think this could be a huge thing for Razer.
Yeah.
And really put a lot of pressure on the other manufacturers given the price.
It's going to hurt
what you get.
Essential. It's going to hurt OnePlus. If this phone sells well, they're going to have to really step up their game or make it more niche.
For sure.
That's a big thing.
TechX says he's not buying it. Greg says he's waiting for a Gen 2. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of like this whole essential phone debacle, which we think is more or less resolved. But if you get Gen 1, you get to be the cool kid, but also you get to be the beta tester. So
I mean, that's very fair that you mentioned that because a lot of the hardware that that essential phone has in terms of like just sensors and things like that, they kind of share a lot of a lot of same stuff. Like displays. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe, I mean, I didn't think the Nextbit Robin phones had good cameras. If that make any sense to you? Some people liked it.
Price.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But when it hit when it hit $170, it was great. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Right.
It wasn't good at $400, but when it hit $170 with some updates, it was straight. You know what I'm saying? So at $699, how good do you expect your camera to be? Because like I said, it's not a Pixel, it's not an iPhone, and it's not a Galaxy. So You're not spending $800 plus to get it. And outside of the Pixel 2 and the iPhone 8 original, at around like $600-700, people who buy those phones aren't looking at this phone because those smaller phone people are looking for that experience. It's just in a smaller package. They're not even looking at this phone. So people who would buy this phone might be the ones who buy the iPhone Plus or the Pixel XLs or or the Galaxy Notes or whatever. So I mean,
now do they have any carrier partners? I didn't see anything about that. It's just
not in the US. In
US, you just gotta buy it
3G
straight up.
It's like E or 3G, and in Europe for like 50% off.
Right. Yeah. So to that effect, this is again going to be for people who buy, unlocked phones at full price, right? Like for those people, this is going to be great. For average Joes that buy every 2 years with a contract, or maybe they just upgrade every year, with a iPhone lease program or a phone lease program, they're not gonna go for this, right? But for those people that are just gonna flat out buy a phone at X price and pay full price for a phone, maybe they spend a little bit more and get this phone, as opposed to some of the cheaper options. Because again, it's good specs, cheaper than the flagships, and seems to be good build quality at this point. But we'll see from there. What do y'all talk about over here?
So the chat round, phone cameras now, right? So Keon said you don't buy phones for the camera, right? Or you're not buying this phone for the camera, but why not?
Yeah. Well, my thought is if the camera is decent, people will buy it because it's a phone, not because it's a gaming phone, right? They'll say this is a good phone for the price. Period. Just so happens to be a Razer phone. Yeah. Just so happens to have front-facing speakers and all this other stuff. But it's got a good battery, good screen, decent camera, decent price.
Good design. I mean, for people who like Razer, right? It kind of blends in with the whole thing. So I mean, all right. So let's talk about some phones then that let's compare it to some phones versus the Pixel versus the Pixel 2 XL. Christian, are you buying? Which one are you buying? From what we know, because we don't know much about the phone outside of the specs.
Right.
So we're looking at as specs and perceived specs to performance. Perceived.
I'll put it this way: if I had to just go out and just spend cash money on a phone, this might be the one I choose. Okay. Actually,
remember last year you talked about the Pixel not being Nexus pricing anymore.
Right. Exactly. So if I'm like, look, I'm going out and buy cash for a phone tomorrow, which phone do I get? It's probably this one actually. Because I mean, I like good pictures, but I don't really care about that. I think I'll take this. What about you?
I take the Pixel 2.
Of course.
I mean, do we even really got access question? No, seriously though. Sean says Pixel 2 is a dud. No, bro, I'm telling you, get your hands on it, try it out. It's totally not a dud. It's actually very, very good. Now, I'll say this. It would make my decision a little bit difficult, depending on what performance, because I don't know what performance is. But if it's perceived specs of performance and the camera is good, not great, good, like essential now good and OnePlus now good, I could see myself getting this Razer phone over the Pixel XL 2. Because track record, we don't know. Google's great updates. They're great with performance of camera, performance on phones, battery life. So those things which are critical to me, they do it well. So obviously my first choice will be that. But if they can prove to be somewhat on par at that price point, yeah. Now let's raise the ante up. The Note 8. What are you taking?
I'm not fool with Samsung. Like I don't even fool with them like that. I don't want to deal with them. They make good stuff, but they're software. I mean,
it's hardware, right? We're talking about.
It's hardware, but the hardware runs with software, right? And the Razer phone is again more or less stock Android. I just don't like any extra. Essentially, that's just me. I want the basic, because again, that also helps inform how quickly I'm going to get the updates. Right, the less extra stuff we have on here, the quicker you can give me those updates when I want them.
Yeah,
that's me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, Sean just said perfections. Real talk. I'm going to go into that because I think you missed my first point about perfections. $1,000. There's no phone that's perfect right now for $1,000 at all, and there'll never be a phone that's perfect ever. because there'll always be something that no one likes. No one does something doesn't like about something. No matter how good Samsung's phones are, until they start running stock Android, I don't care. That's the honest truth, because I value performance and updates way over than I care about design or vivid screens, or the S Pen. So that and like iOS, until iOS is good, like for the iPhone 10, until the iPhone runs like an iOS skin of Android. I'm just saying, really? I don't know, like until iOS isn't iOS anymore, and until they get like a real update, like iOS 12 is like a drastic I need a facelift. I'm just sick and tired of the icons and how to use iOS. They need a facelift. That's what I care about. I mean, dude. I mean, like, so I mean, the Note 8, yeah, whatever. Now, TechX says, this phone has software warranty, camera design for me. Yeah, I mean, everything that you say is true. Christian. I mean, Christian. Tech Keon, damn it, I keep throwing this name. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Those are things that this probably is designed for me, essentially. This type of phone. This gaming phone is for an enthusiast like me, except I don't know what Razer is going to do yet. And I'm not skeptical, because I do believe in Nextbit's I see what Nextbit can do, but I don't know what Razer is going to do underneath with Nextbit underneath them, with where their direction is. I just got to wait. But I do value software, and I value cameras, and I value performance and battery life a lot, because I don't care about price. I don't care about price at all. But some huge selling points, like everyone's talking about now in the chat, is the 120 Hz display. So compared to all these phones here, this has the best like fluidness. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, at least like perceive, because if you use the iPad Pro, which I did for a long time, it just feels better when you move and do stuff, because you can see it so much faster to your actual naked eye. Review videos cannot ever show you how good a 120 Hz display is on mobile until you actually use it yourself. So how about this then? Because you being a former iPhone user, with the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10, and choosing between this phone, what do you choose?
So I'll put it this way: if I was still in the iOS ecosystem, this would not make me jump ship, right? Like, again, I only switched more or less because I was wanting something new. But if I was not looking for that, this phone is not good enough to say I'm gonna dump the iOS ecosystem and jump over to Android. So that I wouldn't do. Given that I'm already in Android, again, the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10 are not enough to make me jump back in. I will say that using iOS 11 on my iPad for work, I think it's like the iPad Air 2, I forget which one it is, but I had to use it for like 2 or 3 months, right? So I got back in, updated it, and I was like,
it's nice.
I forgot how much I like using this iPad. Like, I was like, I forgot how this is just nice. I was like, I forgot about this. So I personally happen to like iOS. It's just that for me, I was like, well, I'm looking for a little more customization, a little more tinkering, a little more.
And at this point right now with iOS 11, a little bit more polished. Honestly,
for sure. So
Android is a little bit more polished right now compared to iOS. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so for me, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't pick the Razer phone over the iPhone if I was still in that ecosystem.
So I'm gonna open this up for the chat also. This last one here. Each one of these phones are essentially in the same price category, that mid-range premium, not really mid-range or flagship pricing. Which one do you take? Do you take the Razer phone, the Essential phone, or OnePlus 5? Whichever, or the 5T. Assuming the 5T, we don't know of the assumed specs. The 5T, you can include this in here at the same $499. The Essential phone is $499. And we have the Razer phone at $699, which is still a great price for what you're getting. All of these phones have the same processors, essentially, great software, essentially, right? Close to stock Android, all of them, and with Essential being 2 stock. All of them have meh camera. Well, not meh, but pardon me, but good cameras, right? They all have good cameras. So what do we do? You have the Essential phone, the Razer phone, the OnePlus. What do you pick?
Keon said Pixel. The original.
I mean, honestly, that's the same price, right?
Right.
The Pixel prices went down too. Even a Pixel or a last year's iPhone 7.
But I don't know though, because for me the Pixel battery hasn't been that great. Like it hasn't aged well. Even when I first had it, it just hasn't been that great for me.
For the smaller Pixel?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been like, the battery's been, and maybe I play too much Future Fight. I don't know, but for me, it's
that you just gave yourself away. I play Future Fight.
Okay, shoot me. Don't last me 30 minutes because I play Future Fight.
You said you're a nerd. Plus. Yeah, true. Yeah, I think too. Right, the original, the OG Pixel. Honestly, now this is my Google fanboy coming out. People are going to say, but honestly, I think everyone is at a good point here. Pixel's proven great camera, good battery life for us at least. Good battery life, great software, fluid and responsive. You know, it's still a great phone to this day. So but it doesn't have all the latest greatest specs, right? For people who are sitting there looking at $499, $599, $699, where do you really choose? Me, I think this is where I go. It's gonna sound crazy. I go Razer phone because, and a lot of people say, Essential phone because you can get it sometimes even as low as $299. But I would give the Essential phone out for the Razer phone a try out of all these phones, including the OG Pixel first, and that's mainly because I think at this price point I just want to see something new. At this price point, this is my I experiment money. You know what I mean? Like the Essential phone. Different design. It's something new. At this price range, give it a shot. Now, when you bump it up, to like $800, I just want a proven name. I want somebody who makes good phones all the time. At that point, but
yeah, for sure.
At this point, Razer phone. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. Maybe at this point, for me at least, it's no-brainer. For everyone else, I don't know.
Yeah, and again, for me, I'm only picking it. I'm picking it under the assumption that it works as advertised, right? Like that it doesn't have any glaring issue that we can't see based off of the specs. Like even the specs it has, I expect it to work at X level, right? So if it does that, then I think it's gonna be great. But again, it's unproven. We don't know, and that's the big issue right now. Is nobody knows how it's gonna actually perform. So in the words of Greg, we'll have to. Wait and see. Because we gotta wait and see. Oh yeah. And that is it for today, folks. I think we kind of beat the Razer into the ground. I think we covered it pretty thoroughly. We got our other new phone news out and about. Man, my throat. Are you okay with that, Giovanni, over there? Drinking your water down here, choking.
Oh man. Man, Sean said better value than a 2XL. The screen doesn't have blue tint. All screens that have AMOLED displays have blue tint at certain angles.
What is going
on? But assumingly this phone does not because it has an LCD. So
yeah, we're assuming. Yeah,
we're assuming
until one of our experts,
Yeah, and until we get a display expert on our next podcast. We're going to hire a display expert. I'm so serious on this. Like, I'm taking resumes tomorrow.
Why not? All right, folks.
No, I do want to say before we close.
What do we miss?
I want to mention. I think we have an ecosystem on our hands here that people aren't really seeing, but maybe it's just me. But there's the Razer Android TV. There's the Razer Book or Razer Stealth laptops. There's the Razer Core external GPUs for those laptops. We have a Razer phone now. Maybe next year a Razer tablet. And looks like we have a little gamers for Apple type of ecosystem here. In terms of at least in terms of hardware.
I mean, unless I can stick all my LEDs around, I don't really care.
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, well, think about it, right? You have a Razer book that has three 4K displays, portable. I'm just saying, like, do you like? Is it worth buying into this ecosystem? Should you pick up a Razer laptop with your Razer book and then plug in there? You know, get an Android Razer TV to play your games, and then get the Razer Core to put your 1080 in there and just kind of play regular games on the. I don't know. I mean,
from what I've seen, looking at this ecosystem. Unless I need to have, you know, the chroma lights like syncing on my peripherals, I don't see a lot of value in the ecosystem. Like what benefit do I have if I own the Razer phone and the Razer Android TV and say the Razer book? Right? Yeah, like they're just kind of distinct things that Razer made. They haven't built anything to tie it. Like even NVIDIA, like their things, there's benefit to it, right? Like I can stream to my Shield tab, like a stream from the TV to the thing, like, you know. So there's an actual ecosystem where I think Razer now is just making individual good products that are branded very heavily as Razer, right? That's just my view on it. I don't see a lot of benefit in owning multiple of the Razer products
besides good value for hardware.
Besides value, and besides, maybe if I want to again have my mouse and keyboard be in sync as far as coloring, right? Like you could, like,
oh yeah, I forgot.
You know, like that kind of like the aesthetic stuff as far as my PC setup. You know, I can get on sync and have my profiles and all that. That's
just
cool.
Me, or I don't like the Razer logo for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't mind it. I don't mind. I have mine here is blinking blue on my mouse right now, so you know, whatever.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
If you want, I have a Razer keyboard. If you want it, I have this $200 keyboard for no reason.
You got a chroma keyboard just sitting there. What are you doing, man?
I don't know why I have it. It's just that it's if you want, you can have it.
I will use that. I got this here. I got this some kind of Cooler Master keyboard. I'm working with.
I'll pass that your way. Man. You can get this when we.
I will use the best out of that. That way, when I play Diablo, it'll be all red. Then I go to Overwatch and it's like all yellow, and it'll be like, you know, in sync. So cool stuff. This chat is just out of control tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't even live here, and I'm not bringing it down to North Carolina, so you're out of luck, sir.
Yeah, it's dangerous over there.
What?
If I can't take the metro there, I'm not going. And then this is where I'm at in my life now.
Converted.
I've been converted to the metro life. I'm not doing it.
Greyhound is too far. Not doing it.
And it's not on the green line, especially. I'm not doing it. I only take one line. It's the green line.
He only knows how to get on the green line.
That's it.
Beyond that, he's lost.
Beyond that, if you're like hop to another line, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm taking my car.
Why am I a shitty girl? What happened?
I'm driving.
How do I get home? Oh man. All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. You know, we mentioned it on the front end, but you know, we got a lot of stuff coming out. Again, we had several reviews of late. We had our Moto Z2 Play, which was about a month ago. We had our Pixel, the new Pixel 2 review. We had our Essential Phone review. I'm doing a couple of, you know, should I buy it videos. One on the Android Watch, Android Wear. I'm using the LG style, and also one on the Chromebook. You know, should I buy one? Should I get one? Just so you guys can kind of get a feel for, you know, my experience, what I've been doing, what's going on. I continue to watch us on Instagram, on Twitter. Not too many of you guys on Facebook, but you know, check us out there as well. We've got some collab videos coming soon. With both Garney and TechX, gonna do some previews for your holiday shopping season. You know, look back over the year at, you know, some nice gifts for different price ranges, some of our favorites, and just some deals to look out for as you're looking out, and how to also you know, not get tricked. Not everything that says on sale is a deal.
That's right.
You know, don't trust that, you know, retail versus sale price. So, you know, we'll try to give you guys some guidance going forward so you guys don't, you know, waste all your money. All right. So that's us. Giovanni, did I miss anything? Did I get it all out?
That's it, man. I think that's everything, right? Check us out, guys. www.chilltechstudio.com.
Chilltech Studio. Till next time, we'll see y'all. Peace.
Peace.